Hi guys, it's Nancy, and I have some products sent to me from Thermo Web in collaboration with Gina K. And there's some stuff on here I haven't tried before, so I think it'll be a learning experience for both of us, but I think it's going to be really cute. So the first thing is, this is the Gina K Design Starry Night stencil, and Thermo Web sent me, this is, I've told you guys before, my favorite paste when using with foil. This is the Transfer Gel Duo, and this will work with heat or without heat. So really, this is all I use. I've used other pastes in the past. You can use other pastes, but when I know that I'm specifically doing stenciling and foiling, this is what I reach for, okay? The purpose of Duo is hot or cold, which is great. So I've already taken a piece of heavy cardstock, and you can see I've run that paste through just with a palette knife on the cardstock, and we're going to let this sit to dry. The longer you let it sit to dry, the better, I think. It still remains tacky to the touch, but I like to do a couple of hours at least, so we're going to let that set off to the side and dry. So we have our stencil and the Decofoil Transfer Gel Duo, okay? All right. Then we have some new products from Gina K Designs, and this is called the Penguin Pals die set. We're going to cut this out, and they sent along not only all these beautiful dies, which we're going to make a little penguin out of, they sent along some white and black flocking material. So you can see it's kind of velvety. So we're going to die cut a lot of the pieces out of there. And then we also have the stamp set is called Penguin Pals Stamp Set. This is a nice stamp set that has some beautiful little sentiments. Wishing you all the joy of the season. What'll I ever do without you? Stay warm, miss you, love you. It's penguining to look like Christmas. Wishing you the happiest of holidays, North Pole. Nice little trees. We have some little bauble ornaments, some little snowflakes, some little ornaments you can put on the trees or use as snow as well. And then a little sign here. And you can fit in there, North Pole, miss you, stay warm, love you. So the penguin might be holding that, or the sign would be behind the penguin. They also sent some foiling. So fancy foils, Gina K fancy foils match her colors. So this is glittering green, this is brilliant blue, and this is starry, sparkly. This comes in the sheets for you. And then we have some black toner sheets. These are already cut down to card front size, just standard black. And then this is their craft and carrier sheets. Now, I have not tried these yet. They say versatile non-stick sheets used for carrier sheet when foiling with a laminator. Use as temporary mixed media surface to protect your workspace. Heat resistant, safe for irons, heat tools, laminators, disposable, no waste, no cleanup. Use as a carrier sheet if it starts to wrinkle. Get a new piece. So there's 6 in here, and I've seen the small ones that come in with the foiling kits, but this has a coating on the inside. So I don't know if you guys can see that. So this is a nice protectant on your desk, or you can cut this down to 6x6 size and use these for your laminator when you're running your foil through. So I'm going to cut this in half. Well, how big are these? Let's measure. Let's measure. So they are 11 inches. So let's cut it at 5.5, and that will give me 2. And you want to use these in your laminator. You can also use them in your Mink. But I like the size and the versatility of them, so I don't have to just use them for foiling. The fact that it says, you know, you can use them for your mixed media projects. So when you're doing things like putting the deco gel through the stencil, you can have this in your background. You can use it as a paint palette. So I'm going to cut these and use these for my foiling. We'll save the rest of these. But have not tried those or used them, so we will see. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is let's die cut out these pieces. And I noticed too, there's a tree die. So we're going to save the brilliant blue foil to foil over our Starry Night background. So once this is completely dry, you want it to be completely dry before you foil it. We will put the foil on and we'll run this either through a die cutting machine or we'll run it through our ink machine. So we're going to set that aside. The green foil, I want to die cut some of these trees, right? I want some of these trees in the background. So let's talk about that. Whenever you are using your toner sheets to die cut, you always want to foil first, because if you die cut first and it leaves a line around the edge of your shape, right? So we have the die which cuts, right? So there's a cutting line there. And if we die cut first and then foil, because there's an indentation from the cut line, it will leave a white kind of halo, which is fine if you like that. I prefer for it to be solid. So I am going to foil first and then die cut. So I'm going to turn my ink machine on so it's nice and warm. I'm going to go to setting 3. While that's warming up, let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to take these black toner sheets. Now, black is great for pretty much anything that you want to foil first. So you're going to foil it, die cut it. If you want to do words, if you want to do backgrounds like matte layers, you can do that. And these are specially made just for foiling. And I don't think these are adhesive. They're not, okay? So usually you would think I'm going to die cut these out and then I'm going to foil them. But if you do that, again, you'll have that little halo of a line. So I'm just going to take a full sheet of the foil. All right, and you want to make sure that you only have one sheet. Sometimes they stick together. So just one sheet. And then you want to make sure that you dusty this, okay? Because we don't want black spots showing up. So either use a soft microfiber cloth, or I like to use a dedicated brush. I don't use this brush for glitter or heat embossing or anything else. And just gently wipe that off. Wipe the back of my foil off. And you want to make sure this toner sheet is completely covered. So we're going to go to the edge of that. The black side is always going to touch the back side of the foil. And I'm just going to cut this. Now, you don't want any black exposed. So you want to leave a little bit of a border. You don't need a huge border. But you just want to make sure none of the black is exposed. If the black is exposed, when that runs through your laminator or your ink, it's going to melt. And that's how the foil sticks to it. So we want to make sure that it melts and it has foil to stick to, okay? So silver side of the foil touching the black side. We're going to put that in our little Harrier sheet here. And then we're going to run that through folded side into our laminator or our ink machine. So that's off to the side here. And we're just going to let that run through. And then once that's done, we will use the tree die, which is this guy, and we will cut some of those out. In the meantime, let's take a look at some of the pieces that we have here and get ready to die cut these. So we have black and white, like I said, sheets of flocking. You could, of course, use cardstock, but I'm going to assume my penguins are black and white, right? So we're going to have white there. And it looks like there are some accessories. Looks like earmuffs, which we can cut these out of. We can cut these out of white and then, or toner sheets, actually. We can color our toner sheets in any color we want. All right, looks like we have feet, and maybe those are beaks. So that probably want to cut out of orange. And I do apologize, you guys. This is brand new, so I have not gotten any instructions, so I'll have to figure it out. Looks like there's a scarf, some extra pieces that are probably eyes and ornaments. Oh my gosh, cute little reindeer. We have a little star. We have some snowflakes. So this looks like part of maybe a scarf. Oh, it's the hat. I see. Hat. Is this the inside of his body? All right. So now this is done. And we want to let that cool before we reveal it. And you want to pull pretty quickly. And now that is 100% foiled. Once that is foiled, this is now your waste. And you're not really going to use this again. So we're going to throw this away. Okay, so now this is the piece I'm going to cut probably a couple of trees out of here. And maybe we cut his, let's cut his earmuffs out of there. Let me see if I can find a photo reference so I have a better idea. I'm going to run all these through my die cutting machine and I will be right back. Okay, guys, back. I was able to get the instructions, and also in the kit you guys will get a radiant red fancy foil, so you'll get that. So I did go ahead and foil that and cut some pieces out of that. So I have everything cut out now, but I wanted to show you which dies go with what. So I cut out 3 of each to make the penguins. Oh, and I think it goes this way. You could also make them into cute little snowmen. Yeah, it goes like this. So the larger part is the head. The bottom is the body. And then these little, they look like little mermaid tails. That becomes the penguin's body. Okay. And then there's my trees cut out. Then we have this little earmuffs piece, and I'm going to start gluing while I can pull these pieces out. And then these are the penguin's arms. That's the penguin's body. This is the body. These are the arms and the eyes. This is the feet and the beak, which I cut out of Gina K mango cardstock. All right, there are several accessories also. So there are hats, there are earmuffs, there's a little bow. So we're going to glue all of that together. There is a little stem or bark, what do you call that, for the tree, which I just cut out of craft cardstock. So that's for our trees. That's just this little square piece right there. This is the little bow. So that's an accessory. There's little antlers, another accessory. Okay. Then there's a Santa hat, which we're going to layer. There's a little poof for the Santa hat. There's a star, which I'm going to say goes with the tree. This is part of our Santa hat. This is the little poof topper for one of the little beanie hats, which is this one here. And then there's a couple different round ones, which one of them is the poof for the earmuffs, which is that there. And then there are 2 different sizes that you can use for the hat, for the snowman hat, and also to cut out for your tree ornaments. So you get a couple different size circles there. So, and then there's a snowflake, which I cut a couple out of the white flocking. Here are the little antlers. And there's a scarf. The scarf looks like a sad face. This is the scarf. Okay, so let me start assembling and gluing these together, see if they make sense for you guys. This is the earmuffs, and then I cut the poofs out of the red, radiant red foil, toner sheets and foiled. K. Then we have our hat. So this hat goes like this. Then we have a poof. That's the Santa hat. Then we have our little beanie hat with a little poof that goes on that. So lots of little fun dress-up accessories. We have the little reindeer. We have our tree. Now the only thing I didn't get to yet is I'm going to foil some of the blue foil on a toner sheet, and I'm going to cut some more little ornaments. I only cut red ornaments, and I want to cut a couple of blue, maybe a couple of gold too. I did also cut a star for one of the trees. These are just extra snowflakes. Here is a little bow. Okay, this is one of the scarves. So it gets this, and then these are the little tied, you know, the little ends. So we'll glue that onto the penguin. Okay, I have a little golden star here. I'm just going to put that on this one. And then I just cut out, I think, only 3 or 4 of the red ornaments. And then, like I said, I'll put some blue ones on there. Okay, so now that we have all of those pieces cut out, I have to figure out how to put our little penguins together. So we have the body. And we have little eyes. These little eyes cut out with the arms. Okay, then we have our little arms, which just kind of tuck in the back there. All right, then we add our little beaks and feet. So we have a foot here, a little foot here. beak. There. And that's it. That's how easy it is to assemble. So cute. I guess this is if you wanted a bigger beak. You could do a bigger beak. So let's say we do this one. Adorable. I'm going to put the bow on this one too. So cute. All right, we're going to set that one aside to dry. Now that we figured out how to do it, and I do recommend a liquid glue to hold all of the foil pieces and the flocking together. We'll give this one the cute Santa hat. Oh, they keep getting cuter and cuter. Alright, and then this one we will put the little earmuffs on and the little green scarf. Oh, tweezers. Don't worry, the glue will dry clear, so I don't got to worry about that oozing out. All right, and then his little scarf. There we go. And then have a little beanie hat left over. Okay, now we just need to set up our backgrounds now that everybody is put together. We have our 3 little penguins. We have our 3 little trees. We have some snowflakes. I'm going to cut a couple more of the blue ornaments and put those on the tree. And I'll be back and we'll start to assemble some cards. Okay, while our little fellas are drying, we are going to do some stamping here. So I've brought back in this Starry Night stencil. And I'm going to use some powder blue Gina K ink as soon as I can get it opened. I need my little silicone holder so my ink doesn't move. Okay, very subtle, very nice. Okay, so that is our background, and then we're going to stamp. That was, again, using powder blue. It's very light, very subtle. You can see the snowflakes in the background. We're going to take Christmas Pine, which is our nice dark green. Can you tell these are new? I like that they come sealed, though, because some inks don't. So I don't mind opening them. And then I also have black onyx here. We're going to open that up. Okay. So we're going to take our little trees here out of this coordinating stamp set. And since these are brand new stamps to me, I'm going to season them first with the little Versa marking. Any embossing ink you have will help to season those stamps. It just helps them to accept the ink a little easier. Okay, pretty. Then I have the little sign on another block here, and I'm just going to take the black onyx ink. Okay, and then this has a lot of little snowflakes. So I'm going to grab that same powder blue, and I'm going to grab these little snowflakes. And we're going to fill in our background. You have a small, a medium, and a large snowflake. Then we're going to put some little words in our little sign. I like stay warm. Perfect fit. So cute. I love, love, love how this kit, everything coordinates, and it's just really adorable. There are also, if you did not want to die cut the eyes and the beak, there are stamps here. So you don't have to die cut. And same thing with the ornaments. You can put those ornaments on the tree. So there's a couple different things you can use here with the dies for the penguins if you didn't want to die cut those tiny little things, which I appreciate because I can't always see the small things. All right. So now it's just a matter of placing our little friends, and I'm just going to grab this one. Actually, I want to save my trees for the other card we're going to do. I am going to glue these little snowflakes on this one, though, because we're going to do the foiling on the other card. Cut this down before we put it on a card base. Oh, let's go 5 1/4 by 4, so there is a little bit. There we go. All right. Ah, he is so cute. Got our sentiment. It says, wishing you all the joy of the season. I'm going to stamp that in Christmas pine. My stamp is crooked. I knew that. Should have fixed it before I put the ink on it. Okay. Let's try that again. There we go. Ta-da! Nice little winter scene card. I'm going to glue on that last little snowflake on here. All right, that is the first one out of this cute little penguin kit. All right, and then the second one, I believe my background is dry, but let me pause and make sure. Let me get this stuff out of the way, and then we'll put together the second card. I'll be right back. Okay, this is pretty much dry, you guys. So we are going to foil this now. Now in this case, I'm going to put my Mink on setting 3. So that's off to the side warming up. While that's warming up, I'm going to cut this down. Because we don't need this whole thing. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, maybe it's not dry enough. Okay, maybe I'll cut it with scissors. That was super tacky. Once it's foiled, we won't have to worry about that. That's the panel part I need. Gonna grab our Brilliant Blue Fancy Foil. Again, just make sure you only have one piece of that. Now, this is what's cool about the Deco Foil Duo Gel is, again, you already saw how this is still tacky. So I don't necessarily have to use heat. I can just run this through my die cutting system. And since it's tacky, I could even just burnish this and the foil is going to stick to it. But I do think when you run it through with heat, it smooths it out a little bit, smooths it down. It's personal preference on, you know, how you want to do it. So I am going to run this through my Mink machine. And we are going to also use the leftover foil. I'm going to show you how to use that. Because remember I said we need to cut those, the ornaments that I didn't cut yet out of the blue. So we're going to run this through. Now I did not dusty this because it's a gel and it's clear underneath. And I know when I do foiling with a gel, it's never going to be perfect. It's going to have its grooves and valleys, which is fine. Just make sure you're aware of that. So you don't necessarily need to dust when you're doing the gel, just on the toner sheets. And we're going to use these two little guys. So cute. And then these two trees we're going to leave blank. And then this tree we're going to cut some more little baubles, ornaments out of the blue foil and put that on there. So while that's running through, I'm going to grab another piece of my toner card front. So I've used this with the red, the green, and now the blue. And on this I will dusty because we don't want any of that black showing through. Okay, so we're going to let this cool down before we pull the foil off. But you can see how it smooths that gel out. It's not going to be perfect, but it should look pretty good. All right, so there we have our beautiful kind of snowflake background. And you can see how everything has been smoothed out. And now this isn't tacky anymore, so I don't have to worry about this sticking to anything. But I want to use this piece on this foil here. So what's going to happen now is this background is going to have, wherever there is foil, it will turn blue. And anywhere there is not foil, it will be black. So now I'm going to run this through. And that's so I don't waste that foil, but I want to die cut what's left. And this is going to be our background. So now I can cut this down safely. Let's cut this down to 5.5 by 4 1/4. Do I have enough to do that? Just barely have enough. Yes. And I did this on thicker cardstock, so shouldn't warp or anything. Okay, so now we have our kind of our starry backgrounds. See, now I have another background, and I could leave this like this, but secret, you could actually take another piece of foil, maybe a different color of foil, and you can run this through again, and whatever is black here will turn that color of foil. So if you wanted to use, say, silver foil, you could turn this into another background. And actually, this is so pretty, I don't want to waste it. I might save this and do silver foil out of it. So, yes, I'm going to save it. I'm going to show you guys that in a second. This is an extra long video, you guys. I'm sorry. All right, so I just want to foil this little extra piece. So I'm going to cut my toner sheet, just this little piece right here, okay? And this extra piece of blue foil here, this is all I'm going to foil. So even though there's some clear there, as long as that black toner is not exposed, it's still covered, we'll be okay. So we're going to run this through. Just like that. All right. And then in the meantime, we can start layering our little images here. Maybe we got to go this way. Horizontal instead of vertical. And I do want to do some ink blending, which you can do over foil. It does not hurt. I'm going to use that same powder blue ink. Let me find my little silicone mat thing. Here we go. See, it holds my inks, sticks to my glass mat. I'm not going to worry about it moving. And this is a very light blue ink. I just don't want it to be stark white. The more ink you add, the darker it's going to be. And it does look like it's kind of like fading out the foil, but the foil actually resists the ink, and we're going to be able to go back in and wipe that off. So I'll show you guys that in a second. So we just take a rag and wipe it down, and then all that ink comes off of our foil. Okay. All right. Now this is done. We're going to pull this up. And you see now that that's blue, now I can throw this away. I've used every little piece we can. I'm going to take this little ornament die, and I'm going to cut about 4 of the circles out of there, and then we'll be able to glue everything together. So I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I've got my tree baubles on there. I think we are going to make another card. We're going to do one penguin on each card. So here is that toner panel where I used that leftover foil. We're going to dusty that. I've grabbed some sparkling silver foil. We dust off the back of that. We're going to run that through. We're going to make another background, and we're going to make 3 total cards with these 3 penguins. So we're going to run that through. So this guy, we're just going to glue everything together. So I think since this one has the little Santa hat on, and then this one, since it's the reindeer, we will put her in the woods. And then I'll stamp the sentiments on the inside. Okay. So remember, this is the panel we foiled once. Now we foiled it twice. That's called double foiling. Beautiful background. I'm just looking at how cute these little penguins are. I have like a little penguin family going on over here. All right, there we go. I did not expect to make 3 cards, but they came out so adorably cute. And again, this is the new Thermo Web Gina K Designs card kit. Let me tell you guys again what you're going to get in the kit. I did bring some extras in here, but you probably already have some of these in your stash. So you are going to get, this is called the Penguin Pals card kit. You are going to get the stamp set. Let me find it. Okay, so you're going to get the 4x6 stamp set. You are going to get the 6x6 Starry Night stencil. You are going to get the 19 pieces of dies, which will cut out all of the penguins and their little accessories there. You are going to get fancy foils in glittering green. Let me get them here. Glittering green, red, radiant red, and brilliant blue. So you're going to get all 3 of these fancy foils. That right there makes the kit worth it. And then you're going to get card front toner sheets, and you get 8 of those in a pack. And you're going to get the flocking and black and white, and you get 2 sheets of those. And that's everything. So 4x6 stamp set, 6x6 stencil, 19-piece die set, fancy foils in glittering green, radiant red, and brilliant blue, card front toner sizes, and the plush paper flock, 2 sheets of each color. So what a really cool kit. Here I printed this off of everything that comes with it. Here's some ideas that they came out with. But I'm really surprised. It was really easy to do. It's just a matter of cutting everything out and gluing it together. And I got these 3 cool cards out of it. Now, the additional things that I brought into this were some Gina K inks, obviously. We have fancy foils in silver I brought in. The inks that I used were powder blue, Christmas pine, and black. I brought in some Gina K layering white cardstock. I also brought in some sweet mango cardstock. Some Decofoil Duo Gel, and then that's about it. So if you have any questions, post them down below. Hopefully you had fun. Watch me make these 3 cute little adorable penguin cards. If you want to know more about foiling, make sure you follow my channel. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.